Hey everybody, this is Young Living Diamond Sarah Harnish, and I'm the author of Unstuck and of Game Plan and Ignite, and you're watching an action video. So you might be popping on my page and be like, what? What's an action video? What are you doing? Basically, it's a really short video that goes along with Unstuck Bootcamp. So you can do the long form videos or you can do the short form videos to keep your team engaged and moving through the book. So we have a victory to celebrate tonight, and I wanted to start with that. Unstuck has hit #1. The book already went #1 on Amazon, but I'm really psyched to announce that it also hit #1 on Audible. So it is a #1 selling audiobook. And this is huge on Amazon because there's 1.8 million titles. So to hit #1 is a really, really big accomplishment. So thank you so much for sharing with your teams and for you guys reading. Over 15,000 people got the audiobook for Game Plan. I would love to see 15,000 of you guys getting the audiobook for Unstuck as well, because it just trains your brain completely differently. Scientists have looked at people that are studying things, in an audio format, and totally different parts of your brain light up. So, you might go through the whole book with a fine-tooth comb, but then when you go listen to it, you hear things you never ever saw when you were reading it. So it's just a great way to train your brain. All right, I made a boo-boo. Now, if you're not watching this live, don't even worry about it because it's totally fine. But I made a little boo-boo and I skipped day 9, the in-person classes, because we covered a little bit of it in day 8. So I'm going back and reshooting that video, and then we'll pick back up where we left off with the next video, which is day 14. And that means we only have 6 of these left, which is going to make me super sad because I will totally miss you guys. But we're on the eve of a really, really big launch, So we're very, very close to releasing all the Thieves stuff and the Thieves PowerPoint. That's coming out in just a few days. So if you're not watching this live, you can go right over my website right now and click on it, and you'll see all the Thieves things. They should already be up for you. And that means Ningxia's only like a week behind that, and CBD is like a week behind that. So all of these lectures, I had a lot of people commenting in the last video about how thorough the lectures were. One woman said, I've been studying Thieves for over a decade now, and I've never seen a lecture written like this before on Thieves and on Ningxia. When I put a lecture together, I'm looking for every single source and print that I can find. So the Ningxia lecture, there's a lot of behind the scenes work that happens with that. That one lecture alone had over 400 sources. So sometimes it's a thumb drive of a diamond that was a winter harvest, and Gary talked about Ningxia for half an hour and they recorded it. Sometimes it's a pamphlet that was printed 15 years ago that I've gotten my hands on. Sometimes it's the old desk references and what they said right when Ningxia first came out, and then after it was reformulated. So I find everything I can, and then I compile that stuff in organized, paragraphs of information, and then I take that and I dumb it down. So the very first Ningxia lecture, you guys will laugh at this, it was 58 pages long. Once I compiled all the information, my poor team had to sit through like 3 or 4 Ningxia classes that were 6 hours long each, because I was trying out the lectures, seeing what they paid attention to. The poor oilability team, they're beta testers of like everything that I do. But we've gotten to narrow down to just a few pages, and it's a knockout good class. It's so good. So we'll be releasing that right after Thieves, and then immediately after that, CBD. I'm on my 92nd book now that I've read on CBD. So I'm very, very excited to be able to release all that stuff to you. And our development team is working on all the PowerPoints and stuff right now. So, but also a huge shout out. I want you guys to know we're putting these resources together. You guys are saying you're a great teacher, you're a great lecturer. When I'm putting stuff together, it's based on the people that have gone before me and have done a lot of work. So I'm not actually that gifted at this. I'm a compiler. That's what I do in the newsroom. I look at 7 networks and I listen to everything that they're giving me, and I take the important bits out and I put it in a way that's easy on the ear. So that's the gift that the Lord has given me, is just looking over huge pools of information and making it easy for you guys to understand and then articulate to the common population. So one of the neat things about CBD is we are going to be just making it easy. There's a lot of misinformation out there that CBD is the same as marijuana. You guys know about THC. There's no THC in our Nature's Ultra CBD. So that's important. That's really important information. So I'm really stoked to be able to release all that stuff for you. So you guys wonder, what on earth am I talking about? There's the book. Okay, you guys are familiar with Unstuck. This is up on Amazon. If you're running boot camps with your teams, which I highly recommend once you finish your own boot camp, that's how you get the OGV out of doing this kind of stuff. If you're running boot camps with your team, They're going to need this book, and then they're going to need the workbook. And so you can get it in bulk on my website, almost half off. It's super, super cheap to get on my website. Or you can buy it for 5 liters up on Amazon and start your own boot camps that way. Very easy to duplicate. 3 things that grow your organizations can grow your OGV if you guys are running for Silverbound. Teaching classes, right? And what do? We give you the core 4 and all the resources for them. Getting your people on ER. What do we do for that? Diamond Deck follow-up cards are phenomenal follow-up system. And the third thing is training your leaders. So making sure you're running Unstuck boot camps with them, running Ignite boot camps. Your leaders come to you and say, I just can't get people to come to class. They need Unstuck. That's what gets them to a place where they can get people to come to class. That book is the answer to nobody's listening to me. I'm having no-show classes. I hand out samples and nobody's getting my kit. That Unstuck is the answer to those questions. So make sure you're running these boot camps with your teams. Rotate out. Do game plan, then wait a couple months, do Ignite, wait a couple months, do Unstuck. And now we've got these really tight action videos that just make it very duplicatable and very easy for your team to stick with it. Even for a full 20 days, very easy for your team to stick with it because the videos are so short. So tonight we're going to kind of pause and go do day 9, which is the in-person class. And I'm just going to give you a couple of highlights. So every time I do these videos, I give you the oil of the night. And I want you to know the aromatherapy training in the long form videos, it took like 4+ hours a day to put that together. So there's not a lot of places out there where you can get aromatherapy training specifically for business. There's not a lot of resources. So the beginnings of each of these long form videos, if you really love the aromatherapy training and want to learn practical uses for it, especially for your business, go watch the first couple minutes of each of those long form videos because I'm going to go into it way more in depth than I do here. But our oil of the night is abundance. I'm just going to leave that there. And I'll tell you, when you're teaching your in-person classes, put a little abundance on the doorknob to your house when people are coming in. Just go try it. And then log what happens, right? Just log what happens. And then I'll give you a couple takeaways. And then I'll give you some homework for you to work on. And then I'll go shoot the next video, all right? What I wanted to show you, if you're just popping in and you're like, I don't even know what she's doing. I don't know what she's talking about. I wrote Game Plan. I wrote that book 3 years ago. We sold 4 million copies of that book, and there was a fire ignited all across Young Living, all across the world. We had people in Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Australia, Hawaii. For 25 years, people in Young Living had waited for a manual to run a Young Living business. And many of you guys have asked me, am I going to be updating Game Plan for Silverbound? Yes. We'll get that done probably in the month of April, and we'll re-release the book so that all of those, the data in it is current with the new comp plan. But then I realized when I was speaking that people were telling me, I understand the business, like I know what I need to do, I understand the comp plan, I understand strategy, I understand all the stuff you talked about in Game Plan, I just can't get people to listen to me. Like I keep talking about it and it's like word vomit on them and they're not actually getting the kit. So how do I grow my organization? How do I go from distributor to silver, from star to silver? And that's how Unstuck was birthed. This was a 3-year project. This book was over 8,000 interviews, a lot of work to put it together. The book gives you all the knowledge and information, and it's a big boy. It's a 400+ page book. So it's a lot of work to get through it, but it's going to give you ideas that maybe you've never thought of before because I compiled information from over 8,000 interviews to put that book together over a period of 3 years. Then I wrote the workbook, which custom fits all the training in the book to you. If you really want to kick in the face, you're like, yeah, Sarah, kick my face in. If you really want to kick in the face, the workbook is going to run you through. It's like being in a Marine boot camp. It's intense. I've got you doing exercises and heart training that is really going to take you to a very deep place in your business. So more so than sitting in a conference center and taking notes on a speaker, it's going to put you in an action seat where you're out there actually doing some of these things that scare the tar out of you. So this combo of the book workbook is very, very powerful. And then to up your game, there's boot camp videos. So that's what we're shooting right now. This is the second round of boot camp. If you go to the team website, oilabilityteam.com, click on share and click on Unstuck. You'll see the Unstuck page, and here's boot camp. So boot camp is 20 days long, and there's a little over 40 chapters in the book, so it works out really well. We cover a couple of chapters a night, and we're just going back and picking up day 9 here, and then we'll do day 14 in a minute. If you click on it, you'll see the long video, and you'll see a short little action video for each one. So that's what these are. Underneath, there's a whole leader coaching session where I train you how to train your team. There's a video on Silverbound that explains how you get paid and what that new comp plan looks like and what strategy looks like. And then here's your gold mine right here. Core 4 downloadables. So these match the scripts in the book. They match the training in the book. If you click on oils, it's going to give you everything for the oils class. So a video teaching you how to teach a 101 class. The PowerPoint download to be able to get all the slides and the text on your own. A blank slide so you can put your own testimonies in there. The entire script is on that page. A textable class to give your people after class is over. A 30-day challenge calendar and graphics to market your class. All of this is coming out for 102 for Thieves on Tuesday. So if you're not watching this live, it's probably there already. Go click on the 102 button right under the 101. We're going to start a countdown tonight, and I'm going to do giveaways every single night. Even while I'm speaking in Minnesota, I'm going to do a giveaway every single night to get you guys fired up for Tuesday. You need to get on Tuesday night. You need to get your team to get on Tuesday night because I'm going to be demoing how to utilize all of these tools and resources and teaching a 102 class to you for the very first time with a brand new PowerPoint. So it's awesome. All right, so here's our takeaways from an in-person class. I touched on this just a little bit in video 8, but I want to just go just a little bit deeper for you than what we did before. There's 15 different types of classes in Unstuck. So the first 100 pages of this book is mindset training that's specifically tailored to a young living business. So what do I do when my mom says no to the kid? What do I do when she gets on ER but she won't even spend 50 PV? What do I do for my friends that don't understand that if they get 10 people under them, they don't pay for their ning shift for their family? Like how do I train people how network marketing works? How do I train them out of a negative stigma in network marketing? What do I do when I'm just feeling like every word out of my mouth is an excuse? What do I do when I'm distracted? I don't know how to get my head out of the place that it's at. That's the first 100 pages of Unstuck. Then after that, I train you how to teach. I just go through class by class. And so this was from the thousands of interviews that I did. And I asked people, how'd you build your business? When you had a kit sale, what exactly was it that you did? 7 in 10 people that I interviewed said they sat down on a couch, they read a script, or they told their story, and the person got a starter kit. So 7 in 10 people are using in-person classes to build their business. 7 in 10 diamonds, 7 in 10 platinums. Does it mean it's the best way to build your business? Maybe not. Maybe for you, the best way is Instagram. Maybe for you, the best way is textable classes. Each one of you guys is unique and different and has a different personality and a different way of connecting with people out there. But I can tell you statistically, over Young Living, 7 in 10 people are building with face-to-face interaction with people. And those are stats directly from corporate. And it also completely aligned with what I found when I was doing my research and interviewing people also, that it was about, 3 and 4 people were teaching with in-person classes. So not necessarily the best way. I hate to label things the best or the only because then somebody comes out of nowhere and just absolutely slays it with a completely different method of teaching, right? So this list isn't comprehensive, but it's pretty darn close. What I found is a couple of, there might be a couple different variations on these 15 different types of classes. They might be using different graphics. They might give it a different name, but generally, most of the people out there in Young Living, what they're doing is falling into one of these categories. So no matter which of the 15 classes you use, and what am I referring to? I'm talking about me training you in the middle section of Unstuck how to teach. Right? So in-person classes, Vimeo, YouTube, Facebook, make and take, speed oiling classes, lunch and learn, sip and sniff, interactive classes, textable classes, DVD classes, all the 15 different ways and formats of teaching I go through very thoroughly in Unstuck and just show you, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this. Like the people that are successful at this method are successful because of ding, 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 right? So no matter which of those 15 classes you use, that foundation of relationship has to be there. Please hear my heart on this. It's got to be there or the class is going to be a no-show. All right, that is what you're missing in building your team. If you keep having no-show classes, it's the element of relationship that you are missing out on. They have to know why they need oils. And if you're not connecting with them in a way that's real, authentic, solving their problems, funneling them to information. Let me give you a wonderful example of this. I just had my hair done a couple of days ago for the Minnesota event that I'm speaking at. You wouldn't know because I'm a mom and I'm packing to get on a plane tonight, so I haven't even had a shower. But I love you guys and you love me and you don't care if I haven't showered. You can't smell me through the cell phone, right? But I had my hair done by this beautiful Honduran woman. And she was talking to me how she has a little baby at home and she uses Dreft laundry soap. And I said, I'm not going to badmouth Dreft. I go, but I would encourage you, I would challenge you just to go home and flip flip the label over and just read the ingredients list of what's in that laundry soap. I go, me personally, I have a 2.5-year-old granddaughter and I have a 7-month-old granddaughter, and I like the Thieves laundry soap. That's what I prefer. When I looked at those labels side by side, this is the one that I chose. And she said, I've never even heard of that. She goes, this is like the safest thing out there. And I said, all right. So I went back home and I gave her a couple of samples of my laundry soap, and then I printed out some articles on laundry soap and ingredients that she should be looking at, and just kind of highlighted some of those things. I went back to her the next day with a purple bag, some samples of the laundry soap, and all that, there was 3 pages of printed information on laundry soap. And I put it in her hands. And I just said, listen, this is what I mean when I say do your research. You are a powerful mama. You are educated. You are smart. You can stand on your own 2 feet. You don't need me telling you what to do. But when I was looking for my grandkids, this is some of the stuff that I found. And these are the ingredients I really don't like. And so I gave it to her. She's on my team. She wants to build a business. I found out later she's been looking for a network marketing company for over a year. The Lord just keeps dropping different people from different companies in her lap. And so I've got a 101 class all lined up with her right now. And I'm super, super stoked. But it wasn't because I sat in her chair and said, hey, go buy my kit. Go buy my kit. You need oils. Buy this kit. Buy this kit. I didn't word vomit on her. I listened to her. I listened to her wanting to take care of her baby, being overwhelmed at all the information that was out there. This story is 48 hours old. Just sat in her chair, and I was in the place where she was. She's a new mama. She's a worried mama. She doesn't want to put poison on her baby. She's trying to make the best decision. She's already spending extra for a name brand laundry soap, because she's trying to do better for her baby girl. But I'm sitting in her chair, and I look over and I see organic hand soap on the counter, and she does sugar scrubs on people's feet, and I see organic brown sugar sitting in the corner, and I'm like, this is a mom that's trying to take some steps and do better for herself and do better for her family. I go, I bet she will hear what I have to say. But I started from the conduit of the relationship that she had as a mama. We found common ground. I asked leading questions. I listened to her. I brought her exactly what she needed, just a little bit, just to get her attention. That's how you get people to come to class, okay? That's how you get people to host classes. It's not by just shoving oils down their throat. It's by being the solution to their problem. It's by meeting them halfway and listening to where they are and then meeting them, all right? So let's see, Tammy, just email me, chickadee. All right, just email me, oilabilitywithsarah, sarah@gmail.com. Okay, just shoot me an email, and our team will take really good care of you. For some reason, a lot of the emails on our website don't seem to go through or get to me or get to my team, but I gave you my personal email. We will take care of you, all right? So Jamie says, I can't wait to see you at the Love Yourself Enough event. I can't either. I am so ready for you, Jamie. I've been practicing that speech all week, and I'm good to go. So no matter which of the 15 classes you use, do you guys hear my heart here? That relationship has got to be there. The relationship's not there, you're going to have an empty class. You're going to have a no-show class. They have to know why they need the oils if they're going to show up. So you most assuredly need to find that sweet spot in their heart for oils, and that only happens with conversation. I find many times in online classes it can be a little longer because that follow-up is a little bit longer. It happens after the class when you're training online. That one element of why do I need oils personally always has to be there. It has to be under every single class that you teach. We're going to go through all 15 of these, but it's got to be under every single one, or no class will be successful. You'll have kit sales, but if they don't see why they need oils, they're going to fall off your team without that rock of the relationship. They'll just drop right off. So it's really, really important that you're listening to their needs. You're being the need meter. The format for a 101 is really bulletproof for a few reasons. You're using a script, and you guys know how I feel about scripts. And I know there's a lot of diamonds that don't advocate for scripts. They say, just get up, go be you. What I have found is that number one, most of the major network marketers in the world use scripts. So the Eric Worreys, the Tony Robbins, the Danny Johnsons, they all advocate for scripts because not everybody's a good storyteller. And so if you want your leaders to be able to copy, if they have a starting point, think about where you were when you first got your kit. Did you feel like a master clinical aromatherapist that could go out and give advice to everybody? No, your knees are knocking. You don't know what you're doing. You could share your story about peppermint. You could share your story about this, but that might not be enough to push another mama over. And so having that foundation that can be copied, where you just say to a leader, hey, download this PowerPoint, read the words under the slide. Super easy. Share your story about peppermint, right? That's a really, really good way of creating duplication among your team. Your leaders can customize the script, they can customize the bold close, they can say what they feel is most important. It's still got their flair in it. Facts tell, stories sell. So by starting each class with your story, you're pulling that room in with the power of what Young Living has done for you. And every time a story is told, you're carrying on Gary Young's mission of getting oils into every single home in the world. If you cut that element out, you just cut out the most important part of the class, which is why all of our PowerPoints start with your story. One of the things we cover in the long form video is common mistakes in a 101 class. So not having a close, saying, hey, you've survived Essential Oils 101, and then never actually closing your class, showing them the starter kit, showing them the laptop to sign up, offering an incentive for them to sign up that night. Like, you got to do things to get them to come. I love saying, hey, when you walk out that door, I can't make your starter kit count for your ER points. You're going to get free stuff just for hitting 100 PV. So you should monopolize on that. Like, you should cash in on that. But once you hit checkout, I can't make your kit count toward your ER order ever again. We can't go back and fix that. So I recommend that you get on ER right away. All right. I look so young, Mama. Your skin is flawless. I love you, Samantha. I super love you. Thank you. And so those are some things in a 101, not sharing your story, not having a close, not showing the ER promos, not talking about Essential Rewards, not having a way that they can order right there in the room when they're feeling excited about the class. So how to end no-shows, I already told you guys about that. Relationship. They're not going to show up unless they have a reason for their family to give their time, which is the most precious thing that they have. You're selling yourself as much as you're selling the oil. So do you read your script like this? Or are you lively? Do you share your story? Are you authentic? Are you warm? And then what it looks like to sign somebody up. I just say, listen, I'm a frugal mom. I like stuff half off. This is where I started my oils journey. This is where I recommend you start your oils journey. There's a laptop right there. I want you on my team. Let's do this, all right? And then the other thing I'd say is tag team teach. So if you're coming in for a leader, like I'm coming in for my beautiful Honduran hairdresser, then I'm going to give her the sponsor and enroller on it because I want her to get the paycheck. But I also might have her stand up for a second and just share a little bit about her story. I might have her sit next to the people that are ordering the kits so she knows how to check people out. You guys have asked me if we're going to update the purple bag information, how to sign up, those printables that we have for free on the website. All that's getting updated in the next month. So you'll be able to click over there and print ones that actually match the website now with how to order. All right, here's your homework for tonight. I want you to read chapter 21, highlight it, take notes. This is one of the most important chapters in the entire book. This chapter and the chapter on ER, I think, are absolutely essential. Teaching your leaders is easy because you just click the boot camp videos and you put them up on your team page and you run a book club with them and read the book. That's easy. We've made boot camp and training your leaders super, super crazy easy to be able to do. But when it comes to teaching classes, and we're giving you resources for that, it comes to getting people on ER, I've given you a system for that. Then I want you to go listen to this chapter on Audible or Apple iTunes or Google Play. It's on all of those, and just train your brain in that completely different way. Do the worksheet for chapter 21, which is actually in the methods of teaching chapter, because I've got you evaluating how your classes do. And remember, 70% of people built in this way. All right. Love you guys. Now I'm going to go pop on and do the next action video for you. Bye.